enormous velocity.
Higher.
And Kim.
Knowledge far in advance of our own.
That's a smart thing.
Contact is established. We now transmit you direct.
Item 9.
Okay, all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is terrific.
Welcome to Item 9 Podcast. This is Kim.
And Hira.
It's another Friday.
Another Friday.
Another episode.
Let's do this.
Well, before we start, did you have any jams of the week this week, or
Girl, you know I did. You know I had a jam of the week.
what did you listen to this week?
The thing I've been sending you fucking gifts about. Uptown Girl. You know I can't afford to buy
You know what's
her
funny?
pearls.
I've heard that song so much, and to the point where I think I know the words. Like, if we were like karaokeing, I think I could get it. But I've never seen that video, and so when you send me the gifts, I'm like, what is this?
I don't know what it was. I think I was randomly listening to it, and someone must have told me there was a music video to it, or I must have been like listening to it and I wanted to listen to it again, and I found it on YouTube. I'm like, oh shit, there's a fucking music video to it. And I love that music video so much. I don't know why. Like, they just start randomly dancing and they're mechanics. And I don't know.
Oh, so you like that when they're randomly dancing, but you can't watch musicals.
Well, no, because that's a song. But a musical, like, is just, I don't know. Like,
in Grease, the same scenario happened.
No, it doesn't, because they start off and the music's already playing and you already know it's gonna go down.
No, when they sing, what song is that? I forget. It's one of the songs where it's just the guys, they're working on the car. Grease Lightning.
Oh.
When they start singing Grease Lightning, they're in like their mechanics classroom or whatever, working on their cars.
Yeah. And
then they start singing.
Well,
and it's the same thing.
Well, no, it's because I don't know, like, I'm very picky about musicals. Like, I have a few musicals. I really like Moulin Rouge.
I can only think of two that I know that you like.
And you know, I really love Phantom of the Opera. But
yeah,
I don't know.
That's the second one.
Yeah, like
those are the only two I think you like.
Yeah, but I've seen Grease. Like, we've seen it together, and I don't like that movie. I like Little Shops of Horrors. I've seen it, and I like it, but I'm not going to be like, oh, I love Little Shops of Horrors. Like, I'll watch it. I don't mind it, but
I have an Audrey 2 pop, which you can't see it, but it's
up there.
I'm actually gonna take it down because some of my, I don't know, these. Okay, I was trying to be a good renter and not make holes in the walls, and so I did the command strip method of putting my shelves up, which were fine, but this paint that they use in my apartment is cheap, and the command strips are fine, but the paint is chipping, and so some of my shelves have fallen. I took one down because I noticed that it tipped and it was leaning on another shelf.
Oh wow.
So I don't know, and then I'm gonna move my room around because today I'm gonna take some stuff out because we're gonna get the carpets cleaned. But yeah, I'm gonna move my room around again. And I think I'll move my bed to this corner where my desk usually sits. And so I'm going to move the stuff that's like my office area stuff. But yeah, I'm probably going to end up screwing the shelves into the wall. Because they have the little holes for you to put screws. Mm-hmm. And I think one of them came with a pack of screws. And so I'm just going to screw them up.
Oh, nice.
So that I can have my pops. Because, you know, I have my
little
Harry
friends.
Potter ones that I usually have around. And then I have NSYNC up there, and then I switched out some of them, and so on this side right now it has Lydia Dietz, Beetlejuice, and Audrey 2.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, and then up there I had like Remus and Sirius.
Yeah.
My two fictional bays in their animal forms.
Yeah.
But I switched some of them around because I used to have. Oh, and I also had Doug and Patty Mayonnaise up there, but they fell.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I don't know. I gotta take these shelves down and screw them up.
Dang, well, that sucks.
But yeah, the Halloween I had because I have a lot of Halloween ones. Like I have a lot of Harry Potter ones, like mostly Harry Potter pops.
Yeah, like that shirt you're wearing.
Halloween ones. Oh yeah. Well, this one I got on Etsy, and it was blank. So it's an introverted but willing to discuss, and then it was custom, and so I put Harry Potter because I bought another one from the same shop, and it said introverted but willing to discuss cats. And so I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, they have a burgundy one? Okay, cool. I'm gonna put
Harry Potter on that one. Yeah. So what about you, Kim? Any jams of the week?
I didn't have a jam of the week, but I did find like a new album that I listened to it at work one time. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna listen to the rest of it. Which it's like, okay, I feel like there are artists out there where you're like, I know what type of music they have, and I know that I probably would like their music because it fits like the other music that I like, but I just haven't listened to. Yeah. And Kehlani is one of those people. Oh. It's R&B music.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
And so, so I knew she's like on that list of people where I knew I'm like I probably like her music, but I just had never listened to it. Yeah. And so I heard a song called, what is it called? Hate the Club. And it's by her because I knew she had an album that just came out. Like it came out like last month or something, or this month. Like it's fresh, just came out.
Off the
and I heard that song, and so. Yeah, and so like on Apple Music, I was like, okay, let me listen to it. And I was like, oh, I listened to like half of it, and I was like, oh, I like this, so I like downloaded it. Mm-hmm. But I need to listen to the rest of it because the album is called "It Was Good Until It Wasn't."
Oh, well, that's usually how it be though.
Yeah, and so far I like it. I'll let y'all know if there's any standout hits for me. Yeah, next week I guess. But yeah, that's what I was listening to. I also made a playlist. Okay, because there's this page on Instagram called Sleeping on Gems, and so I be getting music from there, and so most of those songs it'd be just like the one song by the artist, and I don't know anything else by them, so I was like, let me put them all in a playlist together. And so some of these like Ari Lennox, I end up downloading her whole album, but then other ones I just have the one song. So like, what do I have? What else is in here? I have Peach by Kevin Abstract. Found that on there. Tom Mish. I think that's how you say his name, Mish. I got a couple of songs from him. Callie Uchis. Is that how you say her last name?
I think so. Yeah. At least that's how I hear people say it.
Yeah, like her. I've found out about her on there.
Callie, please let us know.
Yeah. And then there's like a couple other songs. Like there's a few songs. Like this isn't a long playlist that I made, but like I was like, oh, okay, I'll just put all these songs that are in artists that I've heard of from there. Like the internet. I like the internet.
I like the internet too. I got to do a lot of cool stuff on it.
Girl, it is a group.
Sorry.
But yeah, so I have all of those in a playlist, and so I've been listening to that playlist. But yeah, I gotta listen to Kehlani's album to see how much I got it.
Yeah, let me know.
Also, on another note, I feel like, did I mention this another week?
I don't know. Just
I'll hold on to it, and let me ask you what you've been jamming to. Or did I already ask you?
You already asked me. I told you Uptown Girl.
Oh, did I?
You're not even paying attention to the words that are coming out of my mouth.
I am, but
I sent you all these gifts.
We're scooting along. Okay, I apologize. So we'll jump into the episode then. This was my week. Another one of my like jams. So a couple weeks ago, I watched Josie and the Pussycats and the movie. And so this week I'm trying something different. I don't know if it's gonna work out, but I'm gonna try to give you guys a movie review by explaining to Hyra about a movie that she's never seen before. And so I rewatched the movie. And then I just like made notes on things that stood out. And then I would like to have a kind of like a discussion about two topics at the end. I just kind of got the definitions and read a little bit about both of those topics, but they both have to do with the movie.
And I know nothing, so please excuse my ignorance.
So one of the things that I did that I was jamming to, first of all, Josie and the Pussycats soundtrack is fire. Listen to it.
I will.
The music, it's so good. And then it was funny because after I had watched it, I went to a friend's house because me and some of my friends are going on a trip, and so we've been just like discussing it and stuff, and like slowly re-hanging out because everybody's been social distancing, so we've been slowly re-hanging out, especially since we're all about to go on a trip away together anyway. And I had mentioned that I had just rewatched it, and then some of them had seen it too, and they were talking about how great it is, and one of my friends started singing one of the songs from there. So I was like, okay, it's not just me. It's not just me. This is a good soundtrack. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about the movie.
Let's do it.
From Josie and the Pussycats. So I think I did, because I forgot to write down when the movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
But the soundtrack. That's funny. The soundtrack on here says 1970. That is not right.
Whoa.
It's from like 2000 and some, like early 2000s. But I don't know. It's a really 2001.
2001.
Yeah, it's a good movie. So let me just give you, I guess, a synopsis of the movie.
Please
so, the movie is about Josie and the Pussycats. So Josie and the Pussycats are a spin-off, which a lot of people should know now because of Riverdale being so popular.
Mm-hmm.
In the Archie comics, they had these characters who were a band, Josie and the Pussycats, in there. And so they kind of became semi-popular, and so they got their own cartoon.
Yeah.
But it was only like, I want to say 15 episodes or something. So I think I plan to watch the episodes and see how it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's only like 15 episodes, and then I think they did like another spinoff of that show, but just with them, and they're like in space or something. And I'm like, I gotta watch that too because it sounds ridiculous.
Yes.
But
space, you got me.
Yeah, and so in the early 2000s, I guess they were trying to find original content, and so they were like, why don't we make a movie about Josie and the Pussycats? And this is one of those movies where I feel like it's like forgotten about, like not a lot of people talk about it, but it's so good.
Yeah.
And the messages that are in there. So
in the
and
cartoons?
Then in the movie.
Oh, in the movie. Okay.
I wish that I could show you the clip from the opening scene. Let me just like describe the opening scene to you. So it starts off with like a boy band.
Uh-huh.
So it's a boy band, you know, like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, and they're going on their plane, their private plane, to go to do a show. And so they're headed to Riverdale. But it's the weirdest thing because they have all these fans, and they're like the reporters are like interviewing them, like different fans and stuff. And they all got like the group's name is Du Jour.
Du Jour. Why
Yes.
does that sound so familiar?
Because I don't know, to me it sounds like DiGiorno, like
DiGiorno
like
pizzas?
Italian. Yeah, it sounds, I don't know. But so it's a 4-guy boy band.
Of
and
course.
so before they get on the plane, they perform a song
Called Not Your Pepperoni?
called
Oh.
Girl, it's called Backdoor Lover.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and it's hilarious. So it's called Backdoor Lover. And then I even put in my notes, weird performance at airport. Like, because they perform before they get on their plane.
That sounds,
Like,
honestly,
I was like,
that
who
sounds
does
kind of
that?
fun. Hold on. If, let's say, I was ever an opportunity where I got to go somewhere, and all of a sudden this famous band just all of a sudden just decided, like, you know what? I'm about to do a mini performance before I'm off. I would be so hyped. I would probably miss my plane.
Yeah, well, I think it's more like you're obsessed with a band, and then they're gonna be getting on a plane at an airport near you, and so you go there just to see them, and then they just happen to perform their hit song there.
That would be
before they get on the plane.
I would swoon.
Yeah, and then it has actors that three of the guys I knew from other stuff.
If you say Keanu Reeves, I'm gonna have to watch it.
It's not. First of all, if it was
Man.
Keanu Reeves, I would have led with that because that's your
my boo.
husband.
Yes. A shame if I didn't know he was in it. I'd probably just go.
You'll be like, wow, it's a Keanu Reeves movie I've never seen before.
Yeah, I'd probably just go and like just off myself right now. How dare I not know this?
No, because it's funny because I had just rewatched Clueless because it hit Netflix. And I guess everybody was watching Clueless because it shot up to like the top 10 like immediately that week.
Oh wow!
And so one of the guys in Du Jour is Seth Green.
Okay.
You know, he's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's Dr. Evil's son, and he does Robot Chicken, whatever.
He was in X-Files.
Yeah. Donald Faison, who was in Clueless. He's also in Scrubs. The best friend in Scrubs.
Oh,
I've never seen
Turk?
Scrubs. Yeah, I don't know, the best friend, the black guy. And then they have this guy named Breckin Meyer, who I didn't know him. I don't know him by name, But I've seen, he's one of those actors where I've seen him in a lot of stuff. And so he's in Clueless, Road Trip, Rat Race. Mm-hmm. He's like, if you see him, you're like, oh, that guy. Like,
probably.
And then there's another guy who I've never seen before. I don't know what his name is. And so it's the four of them. And then it's like, one, obviously, it's not them singing. I don't know whose voices they used.
Someone who
but
can
it wasn't
sing.
theirs. Yeah, it wasn't theirs. And then they have like, everyone's wearing like pink. But that has to do with the movie.
Really?
But yeah, everyone's wearing pink.
I was like, I can get down with that. Like, I love it when guys wear stuff that no regular guy should be wearing. Like, let's get out of what is a regular.
But it's not just them. Them and their fans are all wearing varying shades of pink. Yeah.
Do I feel a conspiracy coming on?
Let me get into it. So, okay, they finish their performance and talking to the like a news station or whatever. Mm-hmm. They get on the plane. And then, they're doing their little boy band arguing about dumb stuff. Like, one of them, there's like this whole argument about, there's two whole arguments. Mm-hmm. One of the guys is upset because one of the guys has a pet monkey, and the pet monkey's been pooping on everything. And he's pretty much like, get your monkey. Yeah. And so the guy who has the monkey also has another argument with another guy because the other guy, I guess he did like a certain face in a music video. And so I guess he wanted to keep doing that same face in other stuff, but the other guy's been doing that face. And so they have an argument. Oh, no.
Is it like we're wearing the same thing? Face? Oh, my God.
No, yeah, but it's like he keeps doing the face, and that's my face. And then the guy's like, well, if your mama would have gave you a good face. Ooh. And then it's like, oh, yeah. It's a whole argument of nonsense. Wow. And so their manager is on the plane with them, so they're all complaining to him. Uh-huh. And he's, like, solving it. Mm-hmm. And so he's pretty much, okay, like, we'll get this situated. So he solves everything, right? And then at the end, they're like, okay, there was one more thing.
One more thing?
And he's like, okay, what is it? And so they give him earphones. And we were working on the mix of our song. And then we heard this under the track. And he puts they put the earphones on him. So you don't hear what they're hearing, what he's hearing. And he's like, oh, wow, that's weird. I don't understand how that got there. I'll figure it out, right? Yeah. And so he goes into, like, the pilot room on the plane, right? And what did he say? Jay, what did he say? It was like a code word.
Monkey
I can't
shit?
remember.
I don't know.
No, it was because it was like a line from a song, and I was like, what? And but anyway, that code word, he puts on the parachute, and the pilot puts on the parachute, and they jump out.
No way.
With the boy band still on the plane.
No.
And that's how the movie starts. And I'm like, this is one of the best openings that I've, like, in a movie, to be honest, in my opinion. Like,
yeah.
Because it sets up everything. You have a music group that's real popular. Mm-hmm. You have something sketchy is happening. Yeah. But also, I started to write down things that I was noticing within the film. Mm-hmm. So, on the plane... Yeah. I started to write down name brands because we've talked about this before. Product placement. Oh, in movies, companies will pay to have their products and things used or in the background, or to have the characters holding it or drinking certain drinks, wearing certain clothing items, driving certain cars. Yeah. Like and companies pay.
Yeah, like I had just watched fucking X-Files, and one of the things that I always see, like, Mulder's fucking wearing North Face on there, and I'm like, product placement every time I see it. I just have to call it out, you know?
Yeah, because sometimes they do it smooth, and sometimes it's like wild obvious. Yeah. You're like, okay. And so in this movie, there's so much product placement, but it's there on purpose. Yeah. I think I can understand what they're trying to say. So on their plane, and it's like this is what didn't make sense and it made me laugh. On their plane, because it's a private plane, so it's like a small plane, and they all have like their seats and stuff. There's the Target logo. Really? Everywhere. There's Bounce like dryer sheets, I think. Oh, I like all those. Around but it is like inside their private plane. No way. There's also dishwashing liquid. It was Ivory brand dishwashing liquid on the plane. There's also Crest. But it's weird because it's like literally the item is like stuck to the wall.
That's fucking.
So it's not just like, it's not just the name.
Yeah.
Or like in Target's case, it's the logo. Like some of the items are literally
just randomly
on the
there.
walls. Yeah,
That's
on the
fucking
plane.
weird.
Yeah, I was like, okay. But yeah, and that happens throughout the movie where you're seeing all this product placement constantly. So at some points I was literally just writing down products, and I know I missed a whole bunch because there's a lot, but I was just like writing stuff down that I noticed. Okay, so that's the intro, and then after that you meet the girls, Josie and the Pussycats, and they're performing like at a bowling alley, and then their little manager, he doesn't even show up, and they're just like, okay, whatever. And then when they're packing up, some girls like make fun of them for their music. But I don't know. I put a note that not only do they wear the cat ears, but they also wear tails as part of their look. Because they're all wearing, you know, like their regular clothes, but then they also have
cat ears,
the ears and the tail. Cat ears and cat tail.
Is this pre-furry time?
Girl, furries wear a lot more than that.
Hey, that's probably like the intro. Intro to furryism.
And then I put MTV News cameo. So what ends up happening is they're watching TV, and then it's they have like the MTV News. You know how back in the day where you'd be watching MTV and then randomly, like if it's like breaking news, like MTV News will pop up in the middle or whatever and tell you. And so that happens because they're watching something and that happens, and then it talks about how the boy band du jour is missing.
Oh.
Their plane went missing. And it's like they didn't like pronounce them dead, but at the same time, like they put, I guess, the year that the band started and then the current year, which was like 2001 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that they had died.
Really?
Yeah. And so the whole thing is pretty much when they show the manager and the pilot jump out the plane, you see the plane like nose diving in the background, and then the manager, he gets on the phone and it's like, I need a new music group.
Oh fuck, they just replace them like that? Dang.
Yes. And so what ends up happening, I put there's a montage of product placement. Everyone's wearing pink everywhere, and then the manager, he goes to like a record store, big record store, and he's like, oh, like I work for this company, this is the last song that du jour recorded, like can you play it so I can just see how people respond to it? That's fucking
disrespectful. How are you gonna give this other band lyrics or have them sing a song for a band you just murdered? That's some disrespect.
No, well, he didn't. No, he went to a record store to have them play. 'Cause you know, back in the day when they had record stores, they would play like the new music just in the store. And so the guy at the record store like made an announcement like, oh, this is, you know, the last song recorded by du jour, and he plays it. So while he's playing it, people start jamming to it, and then all of a sudden people are like, oh, I need to go get some orange. Like I need to get orange clothing. They're like, orange is the new pink.
Oh.
Everybody's running out to buy new orange clothing.
Orange.
And then there was a girl who was just like, I don't like it. Like, I don't listen to this type of music. And she's like gothy looking. Like, she's got all black on and the interesting hairstyle, dark makeup. And so he's like, oh, I would love to hear you, like, your views. I would love to talk to you about it, to see, like, you know, what are things that, you know, the youth actually wants to listen to.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, yeah, I'll tell you. Girl, they walk to the back, and a van pulls up, and they kidnap her into the van, and drives off.
What?
Yeah, so this movie, another big theme besides the product placement in this movie is subliminal messaging. And so that's what you find out, that's what was underneath the track. They found a track that was saying something that had nothing to do with the music layered under their music. Yeah. And so now and then when they cut to like the next scene, everything in town is orange. Everybody's wearing orange now.
That's fucking crazy. And this is all from one song?
Yeah. Everything switched up from the one song.
Fuck.
And then I wrote down more products. Hostess, there's Steve Madden, Ray-Ban, Puma, Starbucks, Motorola, Evian. Like,
Evian?
I'm seeing
the water?
all of those things popping up, yeah. And then I wrote soundtrack, and this is still the beginning of the movie, and I wrote soundtrack already.
No way.
Like, this soundtrack is so good. It's really good. I'll play you some when we finish.
All
Like,
right,
because
that's cool.
one of the songs that I like. Oh, you know, first I'll play you that du jour song, Backdoor Lover. You got to hear that first.
Hey, I'm down. Let's go.
Okay, and then, so what ends up happening is Josie, like, decides, you know, we're going to go out there, and we're going to play unplugged so people can hear our music.
Mm-hmm.
And so they try to, like, start playing in front of a store, and the store owner runs out and is like, don't do that up here. Like, I got people coming in trying to buy orange things. Don't try to play your music in front. And so they were going to, and he's like, I'm going to call the cops. And then so they end up running away.
Wow.
When they run away, they end up running in front of a car, but the car stops. And guess who's driving the car?
Who?
The manager.
Manager?
And so he's been, you know, looking for a new musical act. And he happens to have an empty CD case. And he puts it up.
I like how you're holding up your debit card.
So it's like they're framed, like that's their album cover.
Okay, I feel like you're product placing me now. I'm like, now I gotta go to Chase?
You know what? Calm down, okay? Oh. But yeah, so he pretty much signs them, like, tries to sign them, like, on the spot. And then they start asking questions like, you've never even heard our music? Like, how would you sign us? And so the girls end up excusing themselves to the restroom to talk about it. And then their manager, the manager and his sister are always together, and she's, like, kind of mean and irritating, and she doesn't really have a reason. And they even crack a joke about it in the movie, like, why are you here? And she's like, oh, because I'm in the comics. And somebody was like, what? And she was like, what?
No.
But, like, yeah, there's no reason for her to be there.
Yeah.
And so they all, like, squish to the restroom, and then they push the manager out. And so they decide, okay, yeah, we're going to take this deal. And so they sign, and it's just like stuff starts to happen real quick. What did it say? What did I put? Build something up before they record. I don't know. I don't know what I wrote.
Something.
That's what happens when your handwriting isn't the best. But yeah, and so and then I wrote underground company planning everything, because they show them after a while.
Oh, really?
And so they show what happens to that girl that gets kidnapped. And
What
so
happened to her?
that music company is working with the government on, like, a subliminal messaging program. And so they have all of these people who normally wouldn't be susceptible to the subliminal messaging. And so you see that girl in the room, and all of them have earphones on, and they start playing something, and then they all sit down at the same time. And so I guess they're taking the ones who are harder to reach and using them as test subjects to make it work.
No way. That's a
Yeah,
fucked
and so
up
it said the subliminal messaging is targeting kids specifically for music, for the economy. And then I put, when the artist gets suspicious, bad things happen. And then they even talk about how they've created a show to document it.
No
and so they show, it's the show Behind the Music that used to be on like VH1 and MTV. Yeah, and so that's how they show it. So it's pretty much saying, like, when these celebrities, like musicians, die and have accidents and all these things, it's because they got suspicious. And so they always have these untimely accidents and drugs and whatever.
Damn.
Which I thought was a little bit funny, because we recently went over the 27 Club.
Yeah, I know. That's
this
exactly what I
here
was
pretty
thinking
much
too.
like lists that, and I saw like that backs up the people's claims that there's something nefarious happening in the background. But yeah, so they finally do record a song, and their song shoots up the billboards in a week.
No way.
Yeah, so everything's happening really fast, and it's like they're confused, but they're like still excited, and it's like a whole thing. But then the company immediately starts pulling Josie as focus, because they weren't Josie and the Pussycats, they were just the Pussycats.
Yeah.
And so they got a billboard, right before they started even recorded in Times Square, and it says Josie and the Pussycats. And they're like, oh, well, you got our name wrong. And they're like, oh, well, statistically, like, bands that have "and" in there make more money or something. And then they gave a whole bunch of examples of bands that didn't have it that were very successful, and he kind of like brushed it off. But yeah, so since Valerie was asking all the questions, the manager starts kind of treating her funny. And so, like, literally immediately they get in the limo and she's not in there yet, and it starts to drive off.
Dang.
And so she's like, hey, and then they stop and he's like, oh, I thought you were in here.
That's
like,
fucked up. That's some fucked up shit.
Yeah. And so they end up, like, kind of creating a rift between the girls.
Did they just want to keep Josie?
Well, after a while, yeah. So what ends up happening is they at one point they go to a party that's like for them, but then all the invitations just have Josie's face on it.
No way.
And then
That's
they
some
only
fucked up
bring
shit.
two. He only brings two, and he doesn't give Valerie one.
What was wrong with
and
Valerie?
She was asking too many questions.
Oh.
And then
so she's you.
They go to the party, huh?
So she's you.
Yeah, and she's the only black one too.
Are
Yeah,
you
asking questions.
serious?
Yeah,
What?
and so they go to the party, and then the girl who's in charge of the company, who we had seen, you know, in the previous scene with the government, like doing the testing, she's in charge of the party, and she's weird, and she makes them like hang out with her at the, I don't know, it was a weird thing. She eats like a chip and talks about how they must think she's fat or whatever because she's eating too much. Yeah, she's like a Pringle.
That's sad.
And they're like, no, like, you're not fat. Like,
What year was this? 2001?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really...
But they use that to like kind of reinforce the fact that this lady, she don't have all her marbles. Like,
oh, really?
She's off. But yeah, and so when they end up keep doing little things kind of to separate them. And then, well, I mean, Josie also has like a love interest, but I feel like he's like not even important. I forget what his name is. Cause she also tries to hang out with him, and then he is a musician too, and she gets them to bring him with them, and then he has like a little show, some little bar or whatever, and she's supposed to go, and then they make it. What they do is they separate everybody. So they show up and they tell them that finally, you know, the other two are gonna get they're gonna go on TRL and talk about the album and stuff, but Josie's gonna stay behind. And so she's like, all right, cool, like I want to go to his show. Yeah. And so the two girls, they leave to get ready for TRL, and then she was gonna get ready, and so the manager's like, oh no, he called and said that it got canceled, and she's like, oh, how come he didn't call me? And he was like, oh, he tried, blah, blah, blah. Makes up excuses. But then every time he does it, he's like, oh, he left a message. And he, like, calls and, like, does, like, whispers really, really fast and hangs up. So pretty much he's calling the front desk so they can make a message that says all the things that he said from the guy just in case she checks. Wow. Yeah, and so she ends up, he's like, well, I have homework for you. I want you to listen to the new remix of one of you guys' tracks. So you can, like, make notes on it. And she's like, okay. And he, like, guilts her at first because she wanted to go to the show, about, like, how his other artists wouldn't have any problem doing a little bit of homework or whatever. So she listens to the music.
It has subliminal messaging in it, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Oh my
so
God.
what ends up happening is, so the two other ones, they go to TRL. Okay. And everything is, like, fake. Even the view is not real.
What?
And first, like, this random black guy shows up and he says that he's Carson Daly. And they're like, what? And then the real Carson Daly shows up. And then they have bats. And they're like, well, you guys are here because we're going to kill you.
Did you say bats?
So
okay.
Like, yeah. And so they end up, like, having to fight them.
Oh, no.
Because they're trying to kill them. Because what they're going to do, what they decided they were going to do is get rid of the other two in a tragic accident.
No.
And just have Josie. And then at the same time, they've also been building up this huge concert. And not only is it a huge concert that you can go to the concert and watch from home, they've also marketed these, like, cat ear earphones that you have to buy or you won't be able to hear the music, whether you're at the concert or at home.
That's crazy. Low-key cute, but crazy.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they want you to get those earphones so they can drop whatever the subliminal messaging is, whether you're at home or there.
I would have been got.
So everyone had to buy them, yeah. And so they, you know, get away from there, and they get back to the hotel room, and they try to tell her. But she looks completely different. She got, like, a suit on. She's getting her nails done, I think. Shit. Like, and she's like being mean to them.
Yeah.
And she's like, I hear you guys saying that they're doing stuff to our music when I do all the work. And they're like, no, we write all the music together. Like, we're all doing the same amount of work. And so they're pretty much like, oh, well, she doesn't care about us. And so they leave.
Oh, snaps.
And so Josie is like, she's still listening to the music. Like, she's a CD player. That shows you how old this is. She's walking around with a CD player, listening to the music. And then she's like wandering around. And then I think she drops it. And then like that's when she like knocks sense back into her own head. And then she goes to the studio and she's with, she goes back to the hotel room looking for the girls. And her manager and his sister is there. And they're like, oh, well, they're not here because you said all those mean things. And so then they go to the studio and because there's this machine that was there. And the manager had told them not to touch it and that it like mixes the audio or whatever.
Yeah.
And so she starts messing with it. And then she hears the message.
What did it say?
It's marketing them. It's marketing like different clothes, like all kinds of stuff.
Oh shit. But so she just hears just the line of subliminal message that's intertwined with the music.
Yeah, so pretty much that machine that they had, that takes the music and it throws that hidden track on it.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much.
Dang,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then I wrote some more products that I saw in the background. AOL, Target, Tide. There's a lot of Target.
Oh.
Coke, McDonald's, Revlon. There's a Babyface cameo when they're talking about behind the music.
Oh.
And then, everything has Josie on it. Making Val feel lonely. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, they brainwash Josie and she figures it out, but they catch her. They catch them at the studio. And so, because it's the night of that concert.
Yeah.
And so they pretty much take her and get her ready for the show. And she's pretty much like, I'm not going to do it. And they're like, yes, you are. They don't caught the girls and they got them tied up when they put them inside of a car. And they're pretty much like, they already got it queued up, the episode of Behind the Music. Dang. With them dying in a car accident on the way to the show. So she has to perform. And then, it's a fight scene and the whole thing. And so at the end, they end up, beating the bad guys. Yeah. The funny part is the government shows up and they tell them, and they're like, they're doing all this stuff. And it's the same guy that was with the lady in the beginning. And he's like, oh, wow, you guys are really doing that? Like, arrest them. And then he tells her, like, somebody has to go down for this. Like, it ain't gonna be us. Yeah, and so her and the manager, they go to jail for the subliminal messaging. And then they crack a joke about how they realized that the subliminal messaging works better in movies instead of music. And then, like, it quickly flashes to join the military during the movie.
You know what that reminds me of? Remember when I was talking about BTK, how they put that subliminal message in there real quick?
You know what's funny? When I was reading, because I was reading, like, the definition of subliminal messaging and the definition of, like, some information on product placement, that did show up when they were talking about, what was it, Call the Chief or something like that.
Yes, with the glasses that were upside down. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
hey.
I don't know, it's funny. And then at the end, they perform a song in front of everybody, and then in the middle of the song, which I thought was weird, the guy that Josie liked, like, crowd surfs, like, almost to her. And then...
First of all, crowd surfing is creepy.
Yeah, I don't want anybody touching me.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of people touching you.
Exactly.
But yeah, so he crowd surfs, and it's funny because it's in the middle of the song where they, like, share that they like each other and how the other one thought the other one didn't have the same feelings or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And then he gets to the stage and they kiss, and then Val has to come over like, dude, we're in the middle of a performance. And then he walks to the side and they finish the song.
So romantic.
But yeah, but it's good. No, and then, like, Josie had to tell everybody to take the ears off.
Oh, because everyone... Oh, yeah, I remember.
Well, they've already, like, thwarted the evil plan or whatever. So she just... Because pretty much she came out and she had her ears on. Because, they wear the ears.
Yeah.
But then everyone in the audience and stuff put the ears on. And so she took them off and they all took them off. And so she put them back on. They all put them back on. She was like, no, stop. Don't put the ears on. And she's like, if you like this for real... then you like it. If you don't, then you don't. And then that's when they play a song. But Yeah, and no, the funny part is, like, before they perform, when they're all, like, fighting and stuff before the government comes,
Yeah.
guess who shows up magically?
Shit. Oh, du jour?
Yes.
No, yes.
They show up, and they're all in casts and stuff from the plane crash, but one of them, he's, like, kind of okay. Like, he has a cast, but he's not, like, a full bodysuit like the other ones.
That sucks.
And they're like, you're supposed to be dead. Like, what happened?
I want to hear
So
this story
apparently,
so bad.
they got into the cockpit and tried to land, and they were able to land, but they landed in, like, a middle of a Metallica concert.
No, they
and
didn't.
And the fans of Metallica beat them up. And so the only reason why he isn't hurt as bad is because he knew the words to Enter Sandman.
No.
And he started singing. And that's the only reason why he didn't get beat up. Because throughout the movie, there's a couple of instances where you could tell someone's following them.
Yeah.
But yeah, they never explain that. And then at the end, you find out it was him from du jour trying to, like, warn them about what was happening.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, and that part's hilarious. They all show up and they're in cast. But then they still have, like, pieces of their outfit. Like, one of them has, like, a hat on. The other has,
From
like, a
that
bow
day?
on. Like, they still have, pieces of their outfit
God.
on from that day. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that's the movie. I really like it. I feel like it's one of those movies that not enough people have seen, but it's like I feel like the people who have seen it enjoy it.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes an interesting statement about the product placement and subliminal messaging, and how they're similar. They're similar because they're like two different like things, I guess. But
it's all
the product
intended to have
placement is
you get
hilarious
something.
because it's so obvious.
Yeah.
Like when the manager is driving and when he first meets Josie and the Pussycats, his car, the windshield has the Ray-Ban symbol all around the outer side. Like it's the product placement is so obvious. Like there's a scene where one of the girls is Melody, I think that's the other one's name. She's in the shower and it has like the McDonald's M everywhere, and then her scrubby is like a McDonald's fries.
Low key, that's kind
using.
of cute. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but that's how they get you. So there's all these like little things and there's stuff around all the time. Like there's literally products and stuff around them all the time in the background. The whole movie to the point where it's like hilarious. There was so many, like I didn't write all of them down. Like sometimes I would write some of them down, but yeah, it's a lot.
Damn.
I think you would like it. It's funny, even though like it's not like a musical per se, but you know, it's like it's a movie about a musical group, so sometimes their music plays.
Yeah.
Or they sing it, because there's like a montage of them, you know, going up the charts and they're singing one of their songs. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It's a really good movie, and it was funny because I want to say I either talked to you about it or someone else about it not that long ago. Mm-hmm. But then when HBO, my HBO Max account turned into an HBO Max one, it was on there. Like I was just like scrolling around to see what's on there, and I saw it, and I instantly had to watch it that day. So, but you know, I don't know. Back in the day, there's a couple of movies that are about subliminal messaging that are like really good. There's this movie that people forget about. It's an old Disney original movie called Up, Up and Away, and people forget about it because there's a similar. Yeah, because there's a similar premise to, like, Sky High. Yeah. But it's better than... Like, Sky High's cute and all, and I like Sky High. But in Up, Up, and Away, the boy never gets powers. Yeah. They never come in. And the fact that he's regular actually helps save his family. Because in that movie, their weakness is aluminum foil. What? So you can wrap some aluminum foil around them like handcuffs, and they are out of commission because not only does it like restrain them, but it also like zaps their power, so they're like weak when the aluminum foil is around.
You would think their like years of like fighting experience would at least help them a little bit.
But you know what? Superheroes got weaknesses. Like you throw some kryptonite at Superman, he's down. You know, out of commission. Yep. But yeah, and that movie, one of the main plot points is subliminal messaging, where and it's always kids being targeted, where this corporation they were supposed to be teaching them about the environment and recycling and stuff. And so they were giving them homework on discs that they were supposed to do at home on the computer. And all the kids who did their homework one day, the next day, everyone showed up and they all had blue on.
Well, you know, it makes sense, like, why they would target kids. Like, that's the longest lifespan that they're gonna have for a while. So, you know, they want to make all the money, have all the fucking, like,
and it's probably easier because they're, you know, their minds are still developing.
Yeah, they don't know no better.
So it's probably easier to get in there. Yeah. But yeah, it was kind of funny because it was like the kid who didn't do his homework showed up in like a red shirt.
That's how
and then the funnier part is the kids didn't even notice.
Really?
The boy's brother comes to school because his brother's like in high school. And he's like in middle school or whatever, and his brother comes to visit him, and he's like, was it like a school pep day or something? Like, why is everybody wearing blue? And he's like, oh, like, I didn't even notice. Like, they didn't even know. Yeah,
that's usually what happens. Like, you think you're doing it from your own thoughts, but people are putting them in there for you.
Yep.
Dang. I'm gonna have to watch that movie.
It's so good. Josie and the Pussycats. It's so good. And it's got a lot of people that you recognize. They have Tara Reid is in it, Rosario Dawson, what's her name, Rachel Lee Cook, who's in like She's All That and stuff. She's in like
other, I don't know a lot of these people by their names.
But when you see them, you're like, oh yeah,
I know that person.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
What was it? What's his Paulo Costanzo? You've seen him and stuff too. Like, but it's a good movie. That's my movie review. Me just like recapping what happens on in the movie. But I would definitely recommend watching it. If you have HBO Max, it's on there.
You still have to give me your password.
I give you my password to my Disney Plus account, and you have not used it.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So I'm like, why would I give you my HBO one when you can watch it anyway?
Dang, it's like that though, huh? I call it how it is.
I paid for Disney Plus for a year, and I gave you the password and everything. You have yet to utilize it.
You don't have Disney Plus anymore?
What?
You said I paid for Disney Plus for a year.
Yeah.
So you don't have it anymore?
No, girl, it hasn't been a year yet. I paid for this year.
Oh, I heard you say.
A whole year ahead of time.
I was like, wait, you don't have that anymore?
No, they had a thing where you paid when it first came out. And it was just you pay $6.99 a month, or I think I paid like $70 and it was for the whole year.
Dang, nice.
I'm like, I had the money. I was like, let's do it. Because it's suspiciously low. It's like the cheapest streaming service right now.
Oh, shit.
But you know what? Now it's not suspiciously low. And I'm like, it's so low. It's because they don't have a lot of original content on there. That's why it's cheap. I think when after the pandemic is past and they figure out how to like start filming things again.
Yeah.
And they start to get more original content on there, the price will probably go up.
Well, they're gonna have to go up, I would think, because now they're starting to create stuff and they need to fund that.
Well, they already were, but yeah, I don't know what the plan is. But yeah, I think they were waiting for all those Marvel shows to hit.
Oh.
But who knows when they're gonna hit? Because I also, from like watching videos and stuff, I guess a lot of companies are thinking about doing half seasons, because they had all these shows and stuff from all these channels and streaming services and everything that were filming, and then the pandemic hit, and so they all had to stop filming.
Yeah.
So a lot of them, they sent what they had into post-production.
Yeah.
So what it looks like is they might drop half seasons. We might start getting half seasons of shows and stuff.
Yeah.
They're just gonna give us what they got until they can give us more.
Yeah. No, you're gonna hear a lot of typing from my end when you edit this, and I was trying so hard to find what they were saying at the beginning of the movie. I'm like, what is it that they say? And I was like searching like a madman, and then I looked up on Wikipedia, and it's about to go there, but they're like, well, they just jump off.
Oh, when they jump off the plane?
Yeah, and it says they jump off the plane. I'm like, but what did they say?
Hold on, I could tell you right now. Hold on. Oh wait.
Like, I was looking fucking...
Oh, shh. He just said it when you started talking.
My bad.
Hold on. I could tell you what he says, so it won't bother you at night.
Thank you.
He said, "Take the Chevy to the levee."
Take the Chevy to the levee?
I knew it was from a song. He walks in and he just says, "Take the Chevy to the levee," and then
But
they just
the
start
levee
putting
was
on,
dry. No.
They just start putting on the parachutes.
Girl, you know that is my song.
That's,
oh my God.
It's one of those songs where it's everybody's song, really.
Yes, honestly, that is a fucking classic.
I remember they randomly sung it at camp one summer, and we all knew the words. Like, I'm like, I didn't even know I knew the words to this song, but
you
apparently
know,
I know the words to this song.
It's one of those songs where as soon as it starts playing, okay, so a while ago we had gone to Victorville, right? And that song just started playing, and like my body just like shoot, and I started singing, and I'm like, holy crap, that wasn't me. I was like possessed for a
messaging.
second. Yeah,
We've been programmed by that song. One day somebody's gonna find something under the track. Then Elton John's gonna be like, I have no idea what that is. I don't know.
Wait, Elton John wrote that song?
He sings that song, right?
Bye Bye, Miss American Pie?
Yeah, isn't it Elton John?
I don't think so. Hold on. American. What's the song? American Pie? I don't even remember what song it's called. Don McLean.
Oh, I thought that was Elton John.
Don McLean.
Well.
Yeah, it's called
Don
American
McLean.
Pie.
Well, Don McLean's gonna be like, I don't know who put that underneath my track.
I'm like, I don't even work here, sir, so I don't know.
But it's one of those. I forgot what we were talking about. Oh, because we were trying to find what they said.
Oh yeah. What is it?
It's
Take the
literally
Chevy
the
to
opening
Levee.
scene. That's literally the opening scene. Like, it's the weird. It's them interviewing the fans, and then them doing the performance of the song, and them getting on the plane, and then them arguing, and then them asking that question, and then he jumps off. That's the opening scene.
You know when you got something wild, you got someone hooked. Like, what the fuck just happened here? You gotta put your glasses on and like do a double take. Like,
all right.
Oracle time.
Oracle card. I've been shuffling. You guys know I can't shuffle, so I've been trying. Let's see. This week, we have number 39, Uncertainty. Choose who you will become. Let's see what the book says. And 39. It says, good advice from an unexpected quarter. If you try, practice, and are willing to make mistakes along the way, you will become far more powerful and reach the place you are longing to be.
Yeah.
I think that's just really good advice. Like,
See?
what, just, you don't know, but you got to try anyway.
Yeah.
See if it works out. Because sometimes it does.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do it, you guys.
That's what I got out of that. So we all gonna try this week. We gonna try.
We gonna try, and even if we fall, we gonna try some more.
Hey, that's that about that.
Well, thank you guys again for joining us on another episode. We really hope you guys like this episode. If you want to hear more about movies, because Kim is way better at explaining them than I am.
I love movies. Like, I talk about them all the time. People say stuff all the time, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's just like in this movie. And most of the time people are like, what movie? Or they don't be watching movies, and I'm like, oh, you gotta watch this. You haven't seen that movie? I was just telling somebody about Shawshank. I was like, you haven't seen Shawshank? Girl, you gotta watch this. Yeah. Oof. But she's one of those people who don't be watching movies, so she didn't know.
It's alright, you guys. It's alright. We'll let you know.
Oh yeah. All right. Yep. I don't know. I hope to try to do more movie reviews. I don't know how I would do it. Like, this one, I watched the movie, I took out my notebook and just started just like writing down thoughts as I was writing it. But at the same time, like, I watched it so I can like recap the film. Yeah. But I don't know.
Well, if you guys have any comments you guys want to say, anyway, we can. If you like it like this, let us know. If you don't like it like this, what can we do to make it better? Please.
We're still open to suggestions for topics, too. If you know something that you think that either myself or Hyra will be interested in researching, let us know on our Instagram. DM us at Item 9 Podcast. We will respond. Usually, I don't know. I check every couple of days. Hyra doesn't check at all.
I don't.
Even though
sorry.
she has access to it. But I will peek in. I'm on Instagram every day. I'm just not on that one. But I'm pretty sure I'll get the message regardless of which account that I'm on.
Okay.
So there's a possibility that I can respond to you day of. If you had suggestions, comments, concerns.
Yeah, really.
If you're just going to be whack, that's when I'll ignore you. But other than that, you'll get a response from me.
Yep. Or from me if I decide to peek in. Don't give me that.
Or I just call her and tell her, like, hey, we got messages. Just read them to her over the phone.
No. Well, you guys, thanks again for joining us on another Friday. And we will be back next Friday. This is Hyra.
And Kim.
Don't forget, you're the bee's knees.
Item 9.
Bye.
Bye.